course, one of the top stories that we have for you today. The other is, of course, what's happening at the Senate. Remember, today is day 2 of the hearings of the Senate Legal Affairs Committee, and the CS for ICT, Joe Musheru, has actually still continuing to give his submissions. He began, of course, talking about a manual backup for the elections as being very critical, saying that the network coverage in some of the places in Kenya not solid or reliable, and therefore a manual backup is needed. So there has been quite an exchange between some of the senators and the CS. Hassan Omar at some point described part of Musheru's submission, where he spoke about Al-Shabaab bringing down technology. Hassan Omar at that point declared that as mediocre reasoning. And therefore right now the CS is just responding to some of the questions that are being put out to him by the senators. Let's just continue listening in.
Small areas where we can cripple the country because maybe a tower or two has been brought down or there's been misconfigurations. It happens even to the best of countries. So I'm not in any way saying that the US said you have to have a manual system, but they face the kind of challenges I was talking about where even network configuration, even hacking can actually happen. So as far as Al-Shabaab is concerned, as a government, we've put in a lot of measures. Networks have continued. Even when they have been brought down, we've brought them back up fairly well. We've put in the protections that are required. But you've seen the significance of even 1% of the polling stations not having access. I think Kenyans will not wait for 2 days for the system to be brought back up so that then they can vote. We've seen how we tend to behave on some of these situations. In terms of input that we've given to IEBC, we have been involved in the committee and we have given them all our input. Unfortunately, not all the input has been taken into account. And more importantly, IEBC has been working on the laws today that are only electronic. And so I'm suggesting that beyond the electronic, we need to have the manual backup system. It's a backup system, not a replacement system. It's only when the electronic systems are not working that we would default to that system. I was able to show that with the current systems, we are able to get the BVRs, because we have time now, we can ensure all the people being registered can come and be verified also. So we have a clean voter register. But on the day of the elections, we don't have as much time to be able to wait when systems have failed. And that's why we need to have the paper version, the manual version, which only kicks in if the electronic does not work. And it's my hope that the electronic one will work throughout. So I am not saying that this is mission impossible. In fact, I am praying and hoping that we're going to be able to have full electronic voting in future. But there is no reason for us never to have an option. In case that fails, we have a backup. That's what I was